Hi guys, it's Sandy Freshie back with another video, recording from outside of my office today just because the birds are singing and it's gorgeous out here. So I'm hoping to share some of this nature uh, essence with you as we move into our topic today, which is for those of you who are in midlife. Let's say you are 40-ish, 50-ish, maybe a little older, and you've just discovered human design and you're wondering if it's too late for you. This video is for you. So before we move on, I just want to remember to ask you, if you find this video helpful, to like it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you want my updates or be notified of when I upload videos, hit the little bell, and please share it with anyone that you think would be interested. So this video about human design in midlife was inspired by a question, or was invited out of me by a question from one of our viewers who is in that midlife range and has discovered her human design type. And she specifically is interested in studying professionally and wants to know if it's too late for her. But what it invited out of me is the bigger question of whether or not human design is appropriate for those of us who are a little older. And if you don't know my story, I'll just let you know that human design found me when I was in my mid-40s. And I was in a place of deep burnout and a place where I was had been living as though I was a manifesting generator when I'm actually a projector. And if you know anything about the types, you know that those are two very, very different types. So you can imagine the amount of exhaustion and disruption in my life up to that point, because I was not living true to myself. So I've worked with a lot of people who are in this midlife phase, who are in the position that I have been in. And to me, the question comes down to, or starts with, is it too late for you to apply what you are learning about your chart to your life? So I have a couple of questions for you if you're in this midlife phase. And these questions are geared toward helping you discern whether or not you can benefit at this point from learning more about your chart. Because by the time we get to 40-ish, 50-ish, maybe even older, we've lived a lot of life. We've maybe made a lot of choices. Those of us who have come from deep conditioning have made a lot of choices that really didn't put us in the right place at the right time, with the right people, for perhaps some of the opportunities that we have. And that's a whole other video on working with midlife and dealing with your forgiving yourself for the choices you've made, because we're always in the right place at the right time for what we need to get from our lives. And life is always showing us what it is that we need to learn. And getting back to the questions here, number one, can you benefit from more self-understanding at this point? And number two, can you benefit from more personal growth at this point? So if you know yourself well and you have grown as much as you want to grow personally without the help of human design, then you probably don't need human design at this point. You may need something else. You may not need anything. You may just need to bask in the wisdom and the energy that you have created and have grown into, and that's that. Human design is really just the blueprint that shows us what was originally meant for us, and it's up to us to live it. And if we were raised in a way, or if we were not conditioned away from knowing who we truly are, then we wouldn't even need to know what's on that chart, because we would already know it inside. That said, if you're watching this video and you have these questions, you're probably on that path of deep personal growth and transformation, and you've probably answered yes to those two questions. So those are the first two questions, and I have two others for you to help you discern whether or not this is really something for you at this point in your life. Are you willing to make changes, first of all, to be more of who you are? Now, if life has shown you what you need to know, and you have maybe paid attention or not have been heavily conditioned earlier in your life not to pay attention, you probably already know these things, as I said, and you're probably pretty much living true to yourself. But if you're not, are you willing to make those changes to be more of you? And that includes, are you willing to release what no longer serves you? Like, are you really at that point where your life is not exactly where you feel it needs to be for you to live your full expression? And are you willing to release the conditioning, the preconceived notions, sometimes even relationships, jobs, whatever it is that would put you in a place where you can live more true to yourself? And are you willing to release the ideas about who you think you have to be and what you think you have to do in order to thrive? And that goes back to some of us coming to this place in midlife where we realize we've been working at the wrong things, we've been in the wrong relationships, we've been in maybe the wrong environment, and as life shows us that, we need to make those changes to release those things. So if you're at that point where you want more self-understanding, you want more personal growth, you're in this place of personal transformation, and you're willing to release what no longer serves you, and you're willing to release the ideas about who you think you have to be, or what you have to do in order to thrive, then human design can benefit you quite a bit, even in the midlife phase of your life. It's a little bit of a different approach when you come to human design in midlife, I feel, having worked with younger people and people who are older, because you already carry a lot of wisdom, especially those of you who've been on this personal growth train for a little while. You already have a lot of wisdom, and this is just enhancing the wisdom that you already have. Now, getting back to our viewer's question about studying human design personally, what if you could start by relaxing into this deeper knowing of who you are, by experimenting with your design, by working with your strategy and authority, and on some level easing yourself into those deeper aspects of your chart as you're called to do it? And what if you could do that and just allow life to guide you through the magnetic monopole? Remember, we have this attractive magnetic force in our G center that attracts life to us and moves us through life. So what if you could just work on your own alignment and see what life brings you and shows you and calls out of you at that point? A lot of us in midlife have issues or concerns about going back to school and learning new things because maybe we've been out of school for a while. But I want to reassure you that if this system is for you to bring through you out into the world, if it's a tool that you are meant to use to assist and support other people with, you will get it. My teacher, Karen Curry Parker, has said in some of her lectures that when she would sit with Ra Uru Hu, the founder of Human Design, she would not take a note. She would not be compelled to mentally take this information in. She could sit a whole day with the transmission and come out with the knowledge. So it takes that sense of being aligned with yourself and open to the transmission that's coming to you through whatever tools you're using to learn more about your chart, to learn more about human design, through whatever study you're using. And it takes more alignment, far more alignment, and far less mental activity than you probably think it would take. So I'm just going to leave you with that, and I just want to encourage you to first relax into your design. If you answered yes to all of those questions and you're in midlife, first just relax into your design. Take in what you need to take in. Let life show you what you need to know about your design in order to align more fully with who you are. And then allow life, if you're feeling like this may be something, human design may be something useful to learn to work with other people, use with other people, let life show you those opportunities and show you whether or not this is really truly your path. So I will leave you there for now, and until the next time, be well.